Hey, what's up, y'all? It's D about to react to this impressive vid. It's titled 50 Cent plans to end T.I. and Tiny after he loses rap battle. Oh, he lost? It's already over? Damn. And Jay-Z had Michael Dyson apologize to him. Lord. Let's see what's going on with 50. He's trying to end them. How? Let's watch. Like pew pew in there.
Hello everybody, welcome to the impressive channel. So it seems like the minister and PhD professor Michael Eric Dyson got pressured into apologizing to Jay-Z because he revealed a private conversation that he had with Jay-Z about
Jay-Z was mad
Drake
he revealed
and Kendrick
that.
Lamar. Now, Michael Eric Dyson has been more of a supporter of Drake, and he wrote up a whole article explaining his stance, but he said that Jay-Z vigorously disagreed with him about his stance, and it led a lot of people to believe that maybe Jay-Z had a problem that he was coming to Drake's defense.
And let me tell you something. A very dear and good friend of mine disagrees with me bitterly. Well, I won't say bitterly, just aggressively and vigorously. His name is Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z. But he hit me up and he vigorously disagreed with my particular position. He said it with dignity. He said it with respect. He articulated his ideal intelligently. I responded to him.
Jay-Z, man,
we
he
went
got
back and
exposed
forth for a minute, and I shared with him my essay, the 3,000 some word essay I wrote in the Philadelphia paper, where I break down what's going on between Kendrick and Drake.
Now, I don't feel like Michael Eric Dyson said anything wrong about Jay-Z, but he did reveal a conversation that they had that was meant to be private. And Jay-Z is sensitive about his image. He doesn't want certain things circulating. And if people make critiques about him or say something that he disagrees with, he has been known to make calls or reach out to people behind the scenes. That's kind of his way of controlling the narrative. And if he knows something is brewing, he will send other people to make calls on his behalf too.
I stopped a major thing for Beyonce, but I am going to save this conversation for Jay-Z. Jay-Z, you're watching. I know you're watching because you got people calling me. Stop having people call me. You've never called anything else, and I haven't even said anything about you yet.
So that was just an example, but the behind the scenes calls and the third party messages and text messages, it happens. And it happened with this situation with Michael. And the fact that Michael Eric Dyson backtracked and apologized to Jay-Z right when he was about to go to a funeral for Reverend Jesse Jackson. This is what gets me. This man was on his way to a funeral for a very important civil rights leader that he was friends with, but he had to think about issuing an apology to Jay-Z. And he could have done it any other time, but the fact that he did it at that moment tells me that he may have been feeling the pressure to do that. That's just my opinion.
Good morning, my friends. Michael Eric Dyson here, on the way to the funeral of the Reverend Jesse Jackson, a man I knew for nearly 40 years, had a tremendous friendship with. And the reason we were able to maintain and preserve our strong intimacy and bond is because he said stuff to me and I said stuff to him that didn't get to the public ear. I remember once when Kanye posted publicly a text exchange between us that was private, and I was hurt by that. And I'm thinking about that because I've done the same thing to Jay-Z. No, I didn't publicly post a text, but I talked about a private exchange between us that should have remained between us, as it has for the last 20 some odd years. So I want to apologize to him here. Why am I doing it here and not to him directly? Because the old black people said, where you did it is where you get it. Where you messed up is where you fess up. And that's what I'm doing. What was his main disagreement? Look, first of all, it wasn't a call. It was a text. His main disagreement, when I compared Kendrick in his line, not like us, to Trump in his trying to distinguish himself from others who weren't on the same level. And Jay-Z said basically that was a faulty kind of comparison. One is a rapper, the other is a far more sinister force. And he said, this is what rappers do. They look at the vulnerability.
That's what you tried to make it seem like. You made it seem like he disagreed with your defense of Drake.
And they exploit
now
it.
You're switching it
Why
up.
would he know that? Because he conducted one of the most famous rap battles in the history of the art form. And so I mischaracterized him. He said, it ain't that serious. He wasn't vigorously disagreeing with me.
That's what you said.
His name is Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z. But he hit me up and he vigorously disagreed with my particular position.
24 hours later.
It's not like he called me and said that. And even on the text, he literally said, it's not that serious. So I want to apologize to him. And the reason I clarified my position in the first place is because he made that distinction between Trump and Kendrick that I wanted to make clear that I completely understood and did not intend. So God bless you all on this morning. Rest in peace, Reverend Jesse Jackson. Jay-Z, my sincerest apologies. Much love to you, my dear brother.
He ain't texting you again.
Rest in peace to Jesse Jackson for real though. But Michael Eric Dyson said that his disagreement with Jay-Z was about him comparing Kendrick to Donald Trump. But in his article, he never brought up Trump. You know, he was more so defending Drake, which is why I assumed that maybe that's what their disagreement was really about. But he apologized, and I saw where he also tagged one of Jay-Z's affiliates, Charlamagne the God. So I don't know. I kind of feel like he was pressured to apologize.
Yeah.
And Michael Eric Dyson, he's not dumb. He made it a point to mention that he was on his way to a funeral for Jesse Jackson. So I don't think he was happy that he had to do this, at least not in that moment. But, you know, he did apologize, and I think it's a lesson to not speak on things that are meant to be private. So that's my thoughts on that. But anyway, let me move on and talk about 50 Cent and T.I. Ooh, it's getting messy. T.I., his son King, and his other son Damani have been dragging 50 Cent for filth after 50 disrespected their matriarch, Tiny Harris. Now, if you don't know, I did do a breakdown on how this whole thing started. The feud initially started because T.I. wanted to do a versus battle with 50 Cent. But 50 clowned T.I. and started trolling him, and this is what instigated this whole feud. So T.I. responded, and 50 decided to target T.I.'s wife, Tiny. And this activated T.I.'s sons, King Harris and Damani. Now, King came out swinging at 50, and he mocked 50's deceased mother. He dropped several diss songs against 50, and also T.I.'s son, Damani, hopped in and dropped 2 diss songs, and T.I. ended up dropping like 4 or 5 diss songs. So the Harris family, they were jumping 50. I saw a comment where someone said 50 picked the battle with Encyclopedia Junior, and Urban Dictionary. I thought that was funny. But yeah, I think 50 lost this battle, to be honest, and I do like the way the Harris men stepped up and defended Tiny. I like how they defend the women in their family. That is to be respected. But, you know, 50 Cent is ruthless. He's very ruthless. And right now, he's taking it to the depths of hell because he came out and said that he's doing a documentary on T.I. and Tiny, and it's going to put a spotlight on 20 different SA cases that T.I. and Tiny allegedly were involved in. And I do remember there were some allegations about them. Yes. They were doing freak-offs with different women, and some of the women claimed that they were drugged, kidnapped, SA'd, and also intimidated and threatened. And one of them sued them back in 2024, but that case was dismissed. However, 50 Cent is bringing this back up again, and he wants to do a deeper investigation on some of these different cases, which is extremely petty, but also it could be very damaging for T.I. and Tiny. And 50 also released a theme song for his show Power Origins, and in the song he took a jab at T.I. and Tiny, saying, "I'm back on my dope boy grammar. Your daddy made your mama eat every box in Atlanta. Freak-ish, peep-ish, keep-ish on the..."
Oh my God, why would you say that? Yo, daddy made your mama eat every box in Atlanta. Because those are the rumors. Those are the rumors that, you know, T.I. was wanting her to have all these threesomes with him, and they had a lot of threesomes.
Hello, but everybody know. And mind you, this theme song is going to be playing every week. So every week, people are going to hear this diss against T.I. and Tiny. 50 is diabolical. Like, his levels of pettiness is absolutely insane. And T.I. responded and said, "We could go bar for bar, hit for hit, or doc for doc. Either way, all you gonna do is show how much of an F ninja you are. Let's play. Nobody fears you over here, boo-boo. Let them know."
Boo-boo.
Yeah, this feud is not going to wrap up anytime soon. So I'm just going to check out right now. Anyway, tell what y'all think about this.
Oh my God, why would he say that? Because I think there may be some truth to that. That's wild though, if he's planning on releasing a doc similar to the one that he, you know, helped about Diddy, because that was very damaging to his character, as we all know. It was very interesting as well. So if he start really digging into their past and finding women who will come forward and give their story, that can definitely make them look really bad. So yeah, we will see how this plays out. This is starting to feel very authentic to me. I had my doubts initially, like, they may just be doing this for Tip's new album that he's trying to drop, but no, this definitely seems personal. So yeah, we will see what happens. Y'all let me know what y'all think, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.